This is a very, very neat and tidy, well-organised little breakaway. Just watch this. Oops, Rooks is leaving a bit of a gap. And looks like Dagoth Lawrence has gone back to have a chat with his team car. So the gap has got up to 40 seconds. I thought they were working quite well. There's still quite a lot of speed left in that main pack, though, and they can begin, I think. Yes, what we're looking at now is Mark Wouters and Lotto. Yeah, there is another team that are not represented at the front, so they've had the word put out. Sammy Morell's on the front, so Lotto and Tulip. Now that is quite a nice little combination. I'd have thought those riders could do something about it. Before, when Tulip were riding on their own, they hadn't got any concerted help at all to pull them back. And this is one race that, so when the Lotto decide they've got to send somebody up and do what they can. 26 kilometres to go. So it's around about 15 or 16 miles. That's not a lot at all. And the gap 40 seconds, that could be the one that matters. They've really got to put the hammer down. And the Tulips on their Koga Miyata bicycles. That's a Japanese company that based themselves very successfully in Holland. They've been run by Dutch people very successfully. Very classic bikes over the years. They've concentrated mainly on sports bikes and been around for some time now. Not a large company, but very, very tidy looking bikes they've had for some time. Another one reading the course distance to find out how far they've got to go to finish, and that was Ron Kiefel from the Motorola squad, and we're back up with the leading group. Again, all working quite tidily. The intriguing thing is that looking back at the team cars, there's only one team car up at the moment. There's a commissaire going through. Let's have a look whose team car's up there, because it strikes me some of the top team cars aren't moving up. Oh, it's come down 25 seconds. So I think the decision of people like Jan Raas and Peter Post and the other team managers at the back is that this little group might well be caught, and they've not gone up to be ready to service any of the riders if they have the misfortune to puncture. Just one of the team cars has come through, leaving the unless of course it's a neutral service. I'll have to look back when they go back in a moment, because they drop the neutral service in if it goes beyond half a minute, and they may be just leaving the neutral service car in there rather than the team cars coming up. Well, the commissaire's dropped back in, and we can't pick up who it is. Sure sign the pace is up. They really have got the wick well and truly wound. 18 seconds. It was 40 seconds. Wham went the Tulips, wham went the Lottos, and back down came the gap. And yes, they moved the tolling cars out, so the car's gone forward. It would have been a neutral service car. It's gone forward now rather than pulling over the side of the road to drop back in behind the bunch. So obviously the team manager's opinion was that despite the class talent that was in that little group, they weren't going to stay away. With no disrespect to Fondres and Yakimov. But you see, the danger men are here. Kasani and Furlan are still in this little race here, and they've got to be very careful about this. And there they are, the two Ariel steers on the front. A wonderful ride in the Flesh Valone the other week, which got them a nice sandwich in first and third places. And now we can see where the damage is being done. Still on the front then, that's Frank van Bailey from the Lotto team, and working very well indeed with Tulip. So Frank van Bailey, who came out quite good as a result of the Les Bastonnaise. He was chasing hard there. He finished in 17th place, just 2 minutes 52 seconds down. As I said then in that commentary, I've known him best of all for the time he's come over or gone over to ride in England in the cyclo-cross, but he's on the road here and riding very, very sharply indeed, and he's got to pull them back. Look at that. Well, there we are, 22nd of the 24 climbs, and Dagoto Lawrence, we're looking back, he was very active early on. Always has been one looking for a chance, but now it's all over. The rest are ploughing up again. Or is he going to do the old tactic? He was the one who started all, nipping off down the gutter and caught everybody on the hop. See there again, look, as they come up there and people say, oh, well, we've got him now, let's have a drink and a sit back and we'll take a rest here, because we're now on the Siebergruber, the 22nd hill, and it's about 2,100 metres. I was looking at my notes, not creating the old graphics, show what the climb is like. Again, because Dagoto Lawrence wasn't going to be prepared to ease back at all. Miller's up near the front. His man Theunisse has been caught, so it might be a chance then for Robert to go near the front, unless of course he's got strict instructions to stay near or with Theunisse, so the chance of Theunisse getting a win in this one. We do get the final climb up the Berg, the 24th climb, very close to the finish. The total race distance 234 kilometres, 248 kilometres, the final climb at 234, so we've got a very little short sharp descent after the climb, and that might still be the place, or not the last, but the last of one climb where this lot gets played out. So we'll see what happens as they get toward the top of this climb and then go right on in toward the finish of this race. Dragging upwards, ever upwards. Amazing number of riders in the classic season, and still fairly compact. Dagoto Lawrence still frisky enough to try and split this little lot up, as yet again, yeah, the back, yes, one or two legs getting tired now, drifting off the front then, going straight off the back. Rolf Sorensen just blown completely. The legs are going now, Nuri Aristeer's going, Ralf Jarman's beginning to struggle on this climb. It is splitting all the time. Just 20 kilometres, I think that is, to go to the finish. And yet again then, the Telecom looking for this elusive victory, which has not yet come their way. I'm just trying to see what happened to Dagoto Lawrence, because I think he might have got himself absorbed back in there. Well, it says 21 kilometres on our screen. I saw a sign on the side road saying 20, so give or take 1 kilometre, we've got it right. This is one of those long, dragging climbs, fortunately fairly fast as far as the big hitters are concerned. They can roll this one sharp, and away they go yet again. And I think that little Robert Miller that's gone on the front. It is Robert Miller. Miller's stampeding away at the front. He's stretching the elastic. Miller's gone shooting off the front of this little lot, and that has ached a few legs. And look who's with him. Frans Maassen is going across. Miller's going up there. Robert Miller then on this climb, pulling up Maassen behind him, and they're going, I think, to pull back the one lone rider, so it seems that certainly Dagoto Lawrence didn't stay out there all that time. And that's it. So there they are then, getting up toward the top of this climb, and the field all together then, and still another couple of cracking climbs yet to come, particularly that big one up the Coburg. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us. This is the exciting part.
Europe.
On the descent down the other side of the 22nd climb of the 24 climbs in this Amstel Gold, it was Cecchioli, the winner of last year's Tour of Italy, the Giro, who's tried to get away at the front. They've hauled him back in again. It looks like he's still there, easing himself along, but the rest have come in. And here another Italian at the back, Claudio Chiappucci, has moved himself up. And what a big bunch of riders we've got here. And looks like Deville going through for Telecom. They've certainly been firing men up there all the time to try and get themselves in contention. Uwe Ampel has been very, very evident at the front of the field. And now Deville has gone off the front as well. So this is still anybody's race. And this is the, I think we go down, turn sharp left. This is the one. This is where the World Championship went through when Jan Raas won it. Remember these restaurants here and samplings. Gradual climb up here. This is the one they reckon is all going to be the toughie. And on the front then, Ampler going away. Got Konishev's with him as well. There goes Ciccioli over the far side. They say he's the second copy. He looks a bit like copy. This long climb up here, rider's fine. You've got to sort of come up and try and gain a few places you can, but it narrows right down. And this is a stinking climb. It's sort of long, dragger one. It looks like Franco's blown it. The Tour of Italy winner has now drifted out of the scene, and again an attack, and I think it's Fondres that's putting himself off the front of this little group, and De Wilde has recognised it. This long climb, it goes on and on forever. This is a real stinker. And look at the damage that's been done. People are really beginning to grovel on the gears here. So Franco, it's not your day. You tried manfully, you've blown somewhat, and so they really are all over the place at the moment. Mauro Giannetti struggling there, but what a tremendous burst of speed up at the front. Franco's pulled back a bit more of his strength, I think, and he's trying to close the gap. So Ciccioli is digging deep. Giannetti up in front. And I think that's De Wilde that's come across with Ampler, who's just made it across there. It's tremendous performance. He's in such fine form, Fondres, at the moment, that and it is Ampler that's gone across. So here, and De Wilde has been trying the old 1-2. Ampler now, and up come Rooks. Rooks is going past Giannetti, and still coming back for more tough medicine is Dag Otto Lauritsen. Marking him again, we see the colours of Panasonic, and on his wheel then Eddie Bowman's going through. Ciccioli's hanging on for grim death. Giannetti dropping off the front. Still in there then for more telecoms in the action. That's Jens Hepner. And just behind us, just behind him there, we can see Museeuw there, 81 for Lotto. And this is the ride they've got to chase down. Ampler is not happy, his arm's gone up, and his feet are flying round. He's thrown his chain off, or the block has gone. Ampler is coming to a grinding halt. I think his free wheel might have gone. He's off his bike. Oh, what disappointment. Ampler, yes, his chain has come off. Oh, that is absolute disaster. All that work for nothing, and spectators on the side of the road trying to help him to it's all gone up. No, it's everything gone at the back. Yep. Now that bike is likely to go over the hedge, I should think. You are looking at a man who must be absolute. Yes. Oh, what a shame. Well, I don't know the German for bother, but I'm certain that's what he just said. So a past world champion Ampler, and a man who realises now the problems, like we all do, and suddenly something goes wrong. Well, Olympic man as well, now in the professional ranks, and that's just a moment he could well have done without. He could have got his name up there in the Hall of Fame, because he was making ground on this man you're looking at, Fondres, last year's winner of the World Cup. And surely behind, Panasonic, who've been so strong, will be jamming hard to slow the pace down. Look at the style of this man. When he became world champion, there was some of the press said, look, you know, if Bauer and Croquillon hadn't bumped into each other, he wouldn't have been champion. Well, he might not have been champion, and they thought he wasn't even worthy of it, but my goodness, he's shown since then that he has got the capability. That was in 1988 when he crashed. There we are. When the other two crashed, he got through them from the bronze medal into the gold medal position. There we are. He's always been up in that top 10, or by 1 year in the FICB ranking, which just shows the consistency of this rider. As well as people in Great Britain remember him, the stage winner in the Kellogg's Pro Tour as well in 1990. Well, he's on his own, and he's on that descent, so we've just got 5, 10, 15. It's less than that, actually, to the finish. He's probably looking down here at my little map of the course. Probably only about 10 or 12 kilometers to go. 10 seconds, well, that's next to nothing, but he's a really class-fast bike rider. And the question is, from the Panasonic point of view, is to let him go out there, because if Ludwig's made his way up into that chasing group at the moment, then they still we're watching a race within a race. We're watching the Amstel Gold, going to see who's going to win this classic race. There's the 27th Amstel Gold, to see who's going to win it, and also is going to collect the jersey as the leader on the World Cup with 14 kilometres. I said about 15, but I wasn't far out. And so 14 kilometres yet to go. If you've not been with the programme all the way through, Dirk de Wolf, who came into this race wearing the jersey as the leader, the Berg, the final one of the climbs that he's got to go up now, and then it's all downhill. This is a gentle one anyway, not as bad by any means as the Koga, which has just split the race time. That was the decisive place. It was reckoned by many of the observers that the Koga would be the final act, but it's still only got a 10-second lead at the moment. And if you didn't see the early part of the programme, de Wolf unfortunately took an absolute hammering and went off the back, either with cramp in his thighs or saddle sore or something. He just couldn't hold the pace, and so he's certain to lose his leader's jersey in the World Cup. And Ludwig this morning started out 7 points down behind him. De Wolf, Kelly, Duran and Duclos-Lassalle all on 50 points. I haven't seen Sean Kelly at all for some time now. Duclos-Lassalle has still been in there. Jim van der Leer, well, he's leading the chase, and Jim has always been there or thereabouts in the classics we've been watching so far this year. But the World Cup then could go to Fondris at the moment, has got 20 points in the World Cup. He's lying in 16th place overall, and if he gets this one, he gets the victor over the line at the end of this race, helps himself to 50 points, so that could give him 50 plus 20. He could take 70 points if he can stay out there. And the massive distance between first and second, by the way, the winner gets 50 points, the second man on the line only gets 35. Last year there was 25 for first and 22 for second. There wasn't a big jump, but they're getting more now to winners, and 13 kilometres left to go. He could propel himself into the lead in the World Cup, but it's still some way, and some lot of action still behind. And it's Bugno coming up. Gianni Bugno just caught Jim van der Leer. He'll be able to see Font riding away. Well, I remember when he won the Wincanton down there in Brighton, when he did somewhat a similar thing. We went the last climb up the Wilson's Avenue and over the top, and he just rode away from the rest of the field. But this time Theunisse has got across him, and so has Rooks. This is a very useful threesome, and Fondris had better watch out. We're looking down, helicopter slow motion to see Bugno's attack. There he goes. It's marked very quickly by Theunisse and Rooks, but he's left a bit of a gap now. But they do come up to him, and there they are. What a useful threesome, and it'll soon be, I should think, foursome. I don't think surely that Fondres can resist a chase of this quality. Oh, the whistle's blowing at the camera and being told to get out of the way by the comers there. Now then. Just look at this. Oh, that will break the rhythm. This lot are certainly going to come up to that group. Atlik Favsol it is that's pulled them up. Favsol brought up the main pack. That will break the rhythm. That will certainly suit one lone man on his front. Jos van Aert from PDM is in there. Favsol, but none of these two, I think, are going to chase off now and try and think about it. Favsol, of course, is working on behalf of Duclos-Lassalle. Because Duclos-Lassalle wasn't, throw him out with the bathwater, because at the moment he's got 50 points, and he's a pretty nifty character, and we've seen him about before, and he could well be still in this pack. The way Kravtsov brought it back, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. No, I don't think, in fact, Duclos is down in that little lot. We'll have to go back a bit further. But Kravtsov certainly doing a good job. There's that motorcycle Cameron with a still camera. He's hammering off down the pavement. Hope there's something like that walking the dog. We get a first-class picture. And riders attacking, although they're not attacking on the far side, those, in fact, are spectators decide to do their own thing down the pavement. Yep. Let's have a look to see if we can see down the road how far Fondriest is away. So they may catch Fondriest. He's getting very close indeed. They can see him in the distance. The chase is on, and keep your fingers crossed for Fondriest. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going right down into the finish. Was a great super sprinter. He won this race 5 times in the past. The team manager of the Buckler squad, who must be looking for his second victory now in this event, and Marson, who won it last year. So can, in fact, the sprinters from Buckler get themselves into a good position? Adrie van der Poel is still in there. He was the victor 2 years ago. He's got a useful sprint as well. In there too, I can see Sciandri for the Motorola team. He is a useful sprinter. In fact, Motorola's still got 3 men in this little group at the moment, so they can help him, but they're not near the front. You've got to get right up there in the action if you're going to have any chance then of going for the sprint. See quickly how Panasonic in the red, yellow and blue dropped down onto the wheel of the telecom rider as he went away off the front again. I think it's Mario, it's not the builder at all. It is Mario, and Bontempi rolling away. Well, Bontempi hasn't got his usual man on his wheel, because I'd have thought this is the sort of thing when Abdul-Japarov would be sat upon his wheel, but he's on his own at the moment. Then Bontempi out of the saddle, beginning to wind away. Abdul-Japarov was in this race. We haven't spotted him. He probably found it a bit tough to go over the top of those climbs. But having a look down there, so Bontempi is rolling off the front. Another great man when it comes to long sprint as well. What's going to happen back here? So look at the 3 colours. The Panasonic team, undoubtedly, they pulled back Bontempi. He's blown. He went, hopefully, I think, for that long one. But a little bit of stuffing has gone out of his legs now. I think Bontempi, the first to admit it, his job is to feed people like Abdul-Japarov into a winning situation and get him in the right spot to go and win the race. The Panasonic train has got the steam up, they're hauling their coals on, and the pistons are flying round as the field strung out behind them are taking a nice, I won't say soft option ride, but in the slipstream, they're not doing the work. And where are the Lotto colours? Looking for the pinky colours of Museeuw, who is undoubtedly one of the top. There's one of them with the Lotto rider, a bit off the back at the moment. You've got to be in the top 15 to 20 slots, and still Fondriest easing himself off the front of this little group with 4 kilometres to go. And look who's on his wheel, big bowl Ludwig, and Marson is moved through onto the wheel of Ludwig, so that's where he's going to sit, and Fondriest is just steaming away at the front. Flat out, he tried to get the race on his own, and that failed. So look at Ludwig, he's able to freewheel slightly, Ludwig, and still then Fondriest. You can see on the other side some of the riders are trying to go round the dual carriageway, but he's got the best line. He's in the front, and on his wheel is Olaf Ludwig. Ludwig then, we're going into Olympic year, and it was Olaf Ludwig that won the Olympic road race last year. Great Roman sprinter that he is, sat in second spot at the moment. Just behind him, Marson for the Buckler squad in the blue and the white. Fondriest could still get himself some useful points in the World Cup. As I said earlier on, he's got 20 points so far in this World Cup series. Last year's winner of the World Cup. And round they go. Looks like Adrie van der Poel moving up as well. Another view from our camera at the back. Let's see, there's Bontempi. He's blown a bit off the far side. He's out of it, 2.8 to go. So we've got about 3 minutes, give or take a few seconds. Run it down the bookie and put money on anybody. Well, Ludwig is getting a marvellous lead out, but unfortunately so is Maassen, because he's on Ludwig's wheel and there's no way he can dislodge him. Ludwig looking over to see who he's got on his wheel, and he's spotted now that Maassen is there. Whoops, up on the inside. Now that is a dangerous move as the field eased just a little bit and rocketing away there, trying to get him on the court. That's Philip Casado. So Philip Casado has gone away. That was an opportunist move by the Z rider. What a courageous thing to do. Philip Casado has suddenly caught a ball napping. He just went down the inside, nearly taking the toes off on the officials, and that really has caused consternation. Well, Casado is going to win races from the front, and he's doing it now in fine style. He's really going away, and our camera's been told to get out too as well by the commissaires, because the chase is on the side. Now that is a dangerous move as the field eased just a little bit and rocketing away there, trying to get him on the court. That's Philip Casado. So Philip Casado has gone away. That was an opportunist move by the Z rider. What a courageous thing to do. Philip Casado has suddenly caught a ball napping. He just went down the inside, nearly. What a gutsy rider this man is. He likes to go for lone breaks. He's known to spend long times out trying to win races from the front, and he's doing it now in fine style. He's really going away, and our camera's been told to get out too as well by the commissaires, because the chase is on. But Casado's speed was superb. Has he got enough left in his legs to get his name up on the books? If he managed to do this one, that would be another turn up for the books, because the year so far has been full of surprises. You can see the sprinters still don't want to chase him down, and after a wonderful job done by Panasonic, I'm surprised that someone like Bowman's hasn't taken up the chase as well. Fondriest must be slightly cooked from that. He was doing a lot of work here at the back. Edwin van Hooijdonk on the left-hand side for Buckler is not able to go through either, and Casado has been hauled back in again, and looks like Ralph Aldag on the front for Helvetia. Well, there's a new face at the front, Helvetia. Ralph Aldag, a very good fast sprinter indeed, has got himself nicely positioned at the front of that pack as well. But has he gone too soon? Ronan Pensec of all things is on the front, but he's in the front. Right, top two on the right-hand side, that's Ludwig over there. Left-hand side, they're beginning to go. And still Ludwig is leading them through. Ludwig is on the front, and it's an uphill sprint. Ludwig is on the right. Still Ludwig has got a slight edge to him at the moment. Ludwig starts to cut across. Ludwig is leading him out now, and still Ludwig is on the front of this lot. Ludwig is going, and Museeuw tries to come to him. Olaf Ludwig takes the Amstel goal, and that will also give him the World Cup. Great ride then by the Olympic champion in Seoul. Olaf Ludwig hits the line, hits the front, and takes not only the 27th Amstel goal, but I'm sure that he's going to take over the leader's jersey in the World Cup Series. That will bring a lot of pleasure to my good friend Peter Post, I'm sure. Disappointment then to Jan Raas that he hasn't got his man over the line first, and perhaps they may still have the team as far as Buckler concerned, but these two great Dutch teams battling it out. And what a fine ride by Ludwig. He went a long way out. I thought that he left it, but we saw his strength, didn't we, in the Liège-Bastogne-Liège, when he was riding strongly there as well, and in the Flèche-Wallonne when he was riding strongly then. He's still got the strength in his legs. We're watching the action replay of Ludwig here on the left-hand side, leading that long shot. See, what we had unfortunately with our camera shot was the way in which the picture was kaleidoscoped by the telescopic lens. I think that's Giannetti over the right-hand side. That's Museeuw going up into second place. I think it's De Wilde moving across into third right now. But certainly Ludwig has time to put his hands up, and I reckon either De Wilde or Museeuw, we can toss a coin on which was in second or third place. But certainly they were right behind this man. I'll tell you how the photo lens makes it look that he got the pack right on his back wheel. That top shot showed that he'd got something like about 5 bike lengths away. Plenty of time to look back. Knowing he got Museeuw in no man's land, and there he goes, and that's that one. So, a welcome sluice down, and the team that worked so hard for him, Fondriest and Yakimov, who did all the job to pull back those early dangerous breaks, and Fondriest himself, who went to try and win the race here on his own, certainly took some of the sting out of the legs of the people that chased down and allowed Ludwig to sit in the main group of riders, and still he had to ride the hills as hard as anybody else. But for Olaf Ludwig, that's another success to add to his tremendous list that he's scored over the years. Stage winners, things like the Tour of Ireland, the Tour of Switzerland, stage winners in the Tour de Trump. Wherever you go, more packs coming in now. He's been winning all over the place, has Olaf Ludwig, ever since he turned to professionals. And of course, in the great peace race before the East Europeans could turn pro, he dominated that one, winning more of the stage races in the peace race than anybody else. In fact, it's Konyshev that was third. I thought when we had the second shot down there that in fact the colour was a one from the TVM squad, and I was just going to check back to have a look at it. I hope we get another action replay, but in fact Konyshev, who's this season, happily with a third spot. So we've got an ex-East German in first, then we've got a Belgian, and then we've got a Soviet Union rider in third. So I say it's getting very much more international. There we are. On the right-hand side, that's Konyshev in the yellow, just drifting off as Museeuw goes past him. Something a bit difficult off our monitor screens to see who's actually getting the line first, because it does get a bit grainy from where I'm sitting. Well, another turn up for the books as far as this race is concerned, but still Olaf Ludwig goes into the summer recess as leader on the World Cup. Myself, David Duffield, saying hope you enjoyed it. Do stay with Eurosport for more racing coming up.
Eurosport.